winners. Thanks for listening to the Winning Brand Podcast. I'm Chase, your host for today. I encourage you to subscribe and keep on coming back week after week for the hottest business resources out there. Of course, this week is no different with my soft-spoken guest, Tomesia Ingram, who is a digital implementation strategist, marketing consultant, and a business coach. She has a keen ability to see potential and possibility in a simple idea and create a strategy to turn that idea into a tangible and profitable product or service offering. She has a genius, keen ability, and she's the key contributor to the success of her clients. So let's get this party started. How are you today?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being there. I know we had a hard time connecting at first, but you know what? Better late than never.
Exactly.
So first tell our listeners what brought you into this space that you're in.
Actually, some of my clients actually are what landed me here where I am. I started out many moons ago as a virtual assistant, and I was doing marketing, more of a marketing type virtual assistant. And over the years, of course, as marketing has changed over the years, it kind of had me to morph into whatever the industry was calling for, which of course now, I mean, I haven't been a virtual assistant in years, but just on the marketing end, as marketing changes, of course, you have to change as well. So sales funnels, digital implementation is what's hot right now. So, and it's actually something that I've been doing for years before they actually call it sales funnels, before they call it digital marketing, all of that. But now it has a different title, but it's the same work.
So you caught in early. I love it. So you help develop sales funnels that attract target markets and generate more revenue, which is something that we all are trying to implement into our business.
Exactly.
So let's break that down. What is a sales funnel for those that are, just starting or new or have no clue what this is?
A sales funnel, and I tell people all the time, if you ask 10 different people, you're probably going to get 10 different answers. But the basis of a sales funnel is technically the journey that you take your clients and your customers through so that they can actually purchase your products and services at different levels.
I like that.
If you think about a funnel usually you have a wide opening at the top and it narrows down to the bottom. So the widest part at the top is where you get the majority of your clients and customers. At that point, they're potential leads to come in. And then as they go through the funnel and come out of the bottom, those are actually your clients. And the ones that come out at the very bottom, of course, are your ideal clients, people that have actually gone through different levels of your funnel. They purchase different products, purchase different services, attended events, maybe done consulting calls, different things like that with you. So those are actually your ideal clients that have come out at the bottom of the funnel.
So why is it important that we have the sales funnel for those that are like, I don't think I need that because I don't know what it is.
Right. Well, actually, your sales funnel helps to generate awareness, and it actually helps to build demand for your products and your services. The objective of an efficient sales funnel and the marketing process in general is to improve the conversion rates of each stage of your funnel so that you actually make more sales, that you actually get more clients and get more people to buy more of your products and services.
Okay, so walk us through that journey, the stages and the phases of that sales funnel process, like from start to finish.
Okay, you start with the lead generation phase, which is actually at the top of the funnel. And that's kind of a combination of social media, your content marketing, things like blogging, your newsletters, things like that, what we call inbound marketing, things that you actually have in place that get people to come to you. And since we are actually in a knowledge-based economy right now, information technology kind of economy right now, as a small business owner, you actually have to provide your buyers with the content they want and what they actually need in order for you to make sales. With the market being bombarded with so many people offering some of the same things or similar things, it's up to you to actually position yourself with information that'll make people choose you basically over somebody else. And your lead generation is usually what does that.
Okay, so I'm assuming at some point, because a lot of people are like still confused on their target market, so that can kind of actually streamline that for them too.
It can. It can. Mm-hmm.
Ah, I love
Mm-hmm.
that. So what's the best content to create for each stage of the sales funnel process?
The best content, a lot of times it actually depends on your audience, but across the board, some of the best content that will you get the most conversion is things like templates, planners, checklists, and workbooks.
Mm,
Things that are quick and easy to not only create, but easy for the end user to consume, but you still want to offer value. Anything that you do for lead generation, even if it's something that you offer for a low ticketed amount, low cost upfront, you still want to make sure that it has value so that the end user sees it as a no-brainer for them to continue to purchase with you, be it buying your services, buying additional products, whatever it may be. You always need to make sure that you're offering value for everything that you provide. You could have things like webinars. You see people that do virtual conferences, email series, challenges, things like that. All of those are great for lead generation.
okay, so lead generation, same thing, lead magnet, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, awesome. Because we gotta have people like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to offer. I don't know. So she just
Right.
gave tons of ideas of ways that you can attract. A lead magnet brings them, like, people love freebies, people love free
Exactly.
things, and they want to kind of taste it, like get a little appetizer first
Right.
before they
Right.
jump into the entree. So we have to keep that in mind, like in building that, people, what is,
Mm-hmm.
just like she said, like your value, what do you have that's valuable that you can kind of give them, to give them a sample of what you have to offer.
Exactly.
So how many, and because this right here, this part is what drives me a little
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How many, the types of emails and how many emails? Because I know when I fall into someone's funnel, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's like, it's a lot.
Well,
A
there
lot.
actually, it can be a lot, and it actually depends on what you're actually trying to promote. If you're
Mm,
promoting, say, for instance, a book, then maybe you can get away with 10 to 20 emails, something like that. If you're promoting a large conference, and say, for instance, the conference is 6 months, 8 months away, 8 months down the line, you may actually have a sales funnel that has anywhere from 150 to 300 emails in it.
wow.
Because the key is you have to stay in front of your audience as
Mm,
much as possible. You want to keep top of mind, as they say in marketing, keep yourself, your business top of mind, which means you have to stay in front of your audience. You have to remember that you're competing with literally some of everybody, even people that are not your direct competition. People are spending money everywhere. You want them to spend their money with you.
very true.
Even if somebody else is offering something that's totally unrelated to what you have to offer, you still want your potential customers to hold on to their money so they can spend it with you, which means you have to stay in front of them. You have to consistently provide information, consistently solve problems for them, fulfill whatever needs that they actually have, so that by the time you actually open the cart for whatever it is that you're offering, they're in buying mode and in position to actually buy. They're ready and waiting for you to actually open the cart.
Very true. So, you have a few people that get kind of salty sometimes when
Mm-hmm.
people opt out
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they feel away. But I'm like, that's kind of what you want to
It
happen,
is.
because you don't want to leave these people on your list if they're not buying or uninterested, right? Just to
That's
hold a number.
absolutely
Why would
right.
you do that? So
Absolutely right.
you
Because
have
you're
clients
paying
that,
for them.
right,
You don't want to pay for somebody that doesn't want to be there. I don't want to pay for somebody that doesn't want to be on my list. They're
right.
never going to buy from you. So the numbers really don't make a difference at all. I know people have clients that may have 300 people on their list, but on a regular basis, they're getting clients that are paying them $3,000, $5,000. So it's not like having this big list. You hear some of the, I guess, the top marketers or whatever, they have the larger list, the hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of people on their list.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in business and have been around list building for beyond decades, but you can make money and be successful, be extremely successful without having an extremely large list.
And I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people don't want to even start creating funnels because they're like, only have a list of 200 or 300. What's the
Mm-hmm.
point? And it's like, that's the best time to get them in,
That,
right?
that actually is the point, because part of what you do with your sales funnel is build your list. That's one of the main objectives of your sales funnels, along with, of course, selling whatever your product is or your service. The main objective is to build your list. And that's why you always start off with the lead magnet. And I tell people, for every product and for every service that you have, you need to have a lead magnet created for each one of those entities. So it's not a matter of just create one lead magnet and let that be the end all be all for everything related to your business. If you have 5 different services, you need 5 different lead magnets. If you have 10 products, you need 10 lead magnets, because you need to be able to segment the people that are interested in whatever that service is, whatever that product is, so that as you know, as you're creating content, creating more products, creating more services, you have an audience that's related to that particular topic, and you know what they want based on the lead magnet they selected.
Nice. I like that. So, in building these lead magnets, what are some third-party services available to create these lead magnets? Because we get overwhelmed with there's so many, but
Mm-hmm.
where do we get started? How do we get started? What are some third-party, services that you recommend?
For the actual email portion of it itself, you have many different options. You have, for people that are just starting out, you have MailChimp, you have ConvertKit, you have ActiveCampaign, you have Infusionsoft, which is like they say the mother of all email, very, very technical. You have Entreport, a lot of different options as it relates to emails, lots of
Wow.
different options. The one that I personally use and recommend to most of my clients is actually ActiveCampaign. It's very user friendly, but it still offers a lot of the bells and whistles that, like Infusionsoft, which is like the mother of all email database providers, it still has some of the bells and whistles that Infusionsoft has, but it's still very user friendly and cost efficient.
Oh, okay. So do you recommend that someone just kind of start off with that, and then as they grow, maybe grow into Infusionsoft and
Well, actually,
graduate a little bit?
I do, but actually, like I mentioned, a lot of what Infusionsoft offers, you can still do it with ActiveCampaign. So you can actually stay with ActiveCampaign for a lot longer. Whereas if you start out with something like MailChimp or even ConvertKit, there's only so much that you can actually do with those, especially with MailChimp. And at some point, you're going to have to switch your entire database over to another database service, and that is a headache within itself. So I usually tell people to start off with something that will grow with you.
Yeah, because I've been for MailChimp, they're trying, but it's just, I don't think it is moving. They're moving fast enough. They're trying.
Right,
It's
right.
come a long way,
They
but
have, they
still,
have.
it's still just not the same. It's
Mm-hmm,
not.
mm-hmm.
So, as far as marketing strategies, let's say we have a lot of newbies. Thank you to all of our small startups and our entrepreneurs that are just getting started. Thank you for listening. We're talking to you now.
Right.
So let's say they don't have a website and they're in between, and they're like, oh, I really need to sell. I really need to start promoting, get my stuff out. How can one promote their business without a website? What are some ways they can, make that happen?
One of the first ways that I tell people is, if you don't have a website, at the bare minimum, try to get landing page software and create landing pages for your offers. You can
Mm-hmm.
use something like, of course, you have um, ClickFunnels, you have Lead Pages, you have Instapage. Some of the email database services even offer landing page software like ConvertKit. You can actually create landing pages. Although I typically don't recommend that you rely on the email database services for landing pages, because there's only so much traction that you're going to get with their services. The services that are dedicated to landing pages, things like ClickFunnels, Instapage, things like that, they actually have mechanisms in the background that actually help to market and promote your sales pages for you. So you actually get better rankings on Google, things like that. The analytics come out better when you use a software that's dedicated for landing pages. The like I said, the bare minimum would be to make sure that you actually have landing page software. If you're in position to where you can't afford landing page software, get something like Sales, SELZ. You can host your products and even your services on Sales and just post on social media the direct link to whatever the product or service is.
Okay. So there are options.
There are options.
There are options because we, make sure that we give them, if they have a very low budget to no budget to low budget, that, we give them, options and ways and no excuses.
Exactly.
To not have this and get this done, especially in order to grow your business. So there are plenty of ways that you guys can get it done, get a landing page done, and get some funnels working. And if you do not, let me put this out there right now before I forget. If you do not, and you're struggling and you say you don't have time, pick up the phone call. We're going to give them your information. So they can reach out, because we don't want anyone to have any excuse of why they do not have a sales funnel, why they don't have a landing page, why they cannot get this done. The excuses stop right now. There's no reason why in 2019 you do not have this set up for your business, even without a website.
Exactly. And I tell people all the time, if you don't have a sales funnel in place, you don't have a business, because you're missing out on money and opportunities every single solitary day.
Every day.
And regardless of if you know it or not, if you've bought anything online, and sometimes, a lot of times actually even offline, you are in a sales funnel somewhere. You may not know it, but you're in a sales funnel somewhere.
For sure. Because I've been in a few like, whoa, wait. I didn't even see this coming. I kind of like those, the ones that kind of sneak up on you. You didn't know that they were there. So what is the major pain point when your clients come to you and you're face to face with them and they come to you? What is that pain point majorly for them?
The biggest pain point that I usually get is people that have like a product or a service and they don't know how to sell it. Because I've actually had people that have created books, they've written books, they've created other products, they've created services, and then they're like, okay, well, I don't know how to sell it. What platform should I be on to sell it? How do I get it in front of more people? In other words, getting more exposure to be able to sell it. And again, that's where the sales funnel comes in place. I also get a lot of people that have questions around creating their lead magnets, because maybe they've already created their product, but they don't know what to create as a lead magnet to now lead people to whatever that product or that service is. So those are some of in fact, the lead magnet is the biggest challenge most people have.
Wow. Okay. So do you recommend that when they have the sales funnel and they're like, okay, I've created it, how do they promote the sales funnel? Are should they put it on social media? Should they run ads? How do you feel about ads and lead magnets and all that combined? How do you feel about that?
I think they all work together, and especially now, because again, we're dealing with such a crowded marketplace, the more channels you can put to use, the better. So if that means doing advertisements, do advertisements. Definitely utilize social media. The thing is, like I tell people as well, don't only rely on social media, and don't only get on social media whenever you are trying to promote something. The times in between, even like as you're creating, even if you're not creating something to sell at the moment, still stay on social media, providing content to people, providing information, educating them, staying in front of them, so that when you do have something to promote, they're comfortable with you at that point promoting to them.
Right.
The last thing you want is for a person to sit up and say, well, the only time I hear from so-and-so is when they're trying to get me to buy something.
Exactly. And that's one of the worst things. I remember I tell, before I sold anything or promoted anything, I put out 15 good episodes of the podcast, giving
Mm-hmm.
tons,
Mm-hmm.
tons of information and blogs and resources, because then I felt comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with saying, listen, I have the history to prove it, the background, the
Right.
resources. So I've given you 15 strong episodes and content. And a lot of people feel like, I can just come with and just announce it and show up and say, hey, I'm here and I have this to sell.
Mhm.
And they get upset when they don't sell out.
Exactly. And it doesn't work like that. They used to say that a person would need 7 touch points in order for them to trust you enough to buy from you. Now that's more like 20.
It is 20 on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
And
sight,
mind
out of,
you, that's actually providing, like you said, great content.
yeah, not mediocre, not, you can't half step on this. You
No.
can't come and say, oh, I'm gonna, drop these little nuggets. And then, no, they have to be like the real meat.
Exactly. Exactly. Something that they won't be able to believe that they're not actually having to pay for it. Like, I can't believe I got this for free, or I can't believe I got this for such a nominal rate or something like that. But it has to be information that you're providing of value.
Exactly. If people, I like when people say, man, I feel like I robbed you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That is the
mm-hmm.
best feeling, because that's when you know that you've provided so much content and you've provided enough. I would rather under promise and over deliver than
Exactly.
them saying, is this what I paid for? Let me unsubscribe and get my refund.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't want that.
Exactly.
You don't want that.
So what's the cycle to work with you when we come to you and we say we have, what's your most, do you have people that come to you mostly with products or services, or?
Mostly with services, even though I do have some product based businesses. In fact, especially recently, a lot more product based. But for the most part, they're usually service based businesses.
Because
A
is,
lot of
is that,
coaches, a lot of speakers, a lot of authors.
okay. And the products, what type of products is it like a series of products? Because I'm thinking products would probably be easier than services, but then again, I'm not sure. Which do you find easier to promote, the products or the services?
It totally depends, actually. I have a lot of beautypreneurs, people that actually sell like skincare products, makeup lines, hair, lashes, things like that.
Oh,
Sometimes they can actually be more challenging because of the fact that there are so many people selling the same thing.
yeah.
Whereas with a service based entrepreneur, you can kind of like set yourself apart a little bit better, even though you have
Mhm.
a saturated market, depending on what it is that you're actually doing as well. But it's still a lot of different ways that you can set yourself apart in the eyes
Mm.
of the consumer, that is, anyway. If you sell hair, how are you going to demonstrate, especially online, to a patron that your hair is better than or different than somebody else's if they're not actually able to be there and actually touch the hair, see the hair,
Yeah.
feel it, experience it up close and personal? You can do that a little bit better with a service-based business.
So true, because products, people are, I need to understand, I
Touch
need to
it.
know how this works. Yeah, I need
Mm-hmm.
to know how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to smell it. I want to, yeah, I can see how
Mm-hmm.
that would be a little,
Mm-hmm.
especially with hair. Oh my God, they are in my inbox every day. I mean,
Hair, candles, lipstick, all of that. Of course, like if you're selling makeup, you can make it a lot easier if you're selling colors that are different than the majority of your competition, which that's easy to do. But things like candles, I know I'm a candle fanatic. I want to smell it before I buy it.
right.
The jar might be pretty, might be in a pretty box and all that, but like I said, actually a candle snob. I want to smell it before I buy it.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Oh wow. I'm I'm fascinated now with getting into the funnels and how they work, and because you can also tell a lot about a business, how much they're willing to invest
Mm-hmm.
and how much they really care about the brand. So I
Mm-hmm.
look at that as well, because if you're willing to take all of those steps with all of those series of emails and sequencing everything and making sure that your clients are informed and they have more, and if they want more, then you can provide that versus okay, this is what I have, do you want it or not?
Exactly.
No thought behind it. Just
Right,
a
right.
regular old email, just or a posting on social media, and it's like, well, what else?
Exactly.
What else do I get? What? Yeah. So
Giving you the
I
side eye.
totally get it. You're right. You're right. And I think sales funnel kind of make you a little bit more credible because you put the work in. You are
Exactly.
investing more
Hmm.
than someone, because you're investing in the ads, if you're, or the sponsored ads, to make them be seen, and you're really doing the work versus the lazy way of
Hmm.
whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I thank you for like teaching that, because a lot of people, they're, you see the videos and you sign up, but they're still like kind of vague and kind of talking over your head, and you're like,
Right.
wait, you're telling me to do a funnel, but what's a lead magnet? What's and you still don't understand.
Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of people, I get that a lot. Get a lot of
Really?
DMs, especially on social media, with people asking what that is. What is a lead magnet? What is lead generation? What is this? What is that? What's a tripwire? What's an upsell? All those different questions.
Yeah. So do you do webinars or host classes, workshops on this? Is this, you have something online that people can
I
jump
don't
in on?
don't have anything online right now, but I will within the next month. I actually have a couple of webinars that I'm doing,
Okay. Okay.
so I will have those available.
Nice. Nice. Because I'm sure, this audience will truly appreciate someone that knows, what they're talking about and can guide them through that process and help them set that up.
Hmm. That
Love
will be
it.
available starting next month.
Yes. What else are you working on? Anything else you're working on?
I'm actually starting on May the 6th. I'm starting a list building challenge, actually. So for people that need to start building their list, I'm actually doing a 4-week list building challenge.
Wow. Make sure you tag me
I certainly will.
when
I
you do
certainly
that.
will. I certainly will.
Please tag me. Yes, definitely. Because I want to catch in on that. I definitely challenge with that. I love challenges. I really do. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for being a part of the show and coming on. But before I let you go, I have to ask you a very fun question that I ask everyone. No one has the same question. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, your question is, what was your best MacGyver moment?
Mm, you really did catch me off guard with that one. I really don't know offhand.
What about in business? It doesn't have to be just in your personal life, in
Mm,
business as well.
like I said, you really caught me off guard with that one.
Really? I usually do.
That you did. Caught me off
You
guard
know,
with that one.
and it's so funny because I have people, they're like, "Oh wow, I don't know," and then they'll send me a message later. I have an answer for it.
I'm sure that's probably what'll happen. But right now,
Right?
it's like, what has been
Like
my
I
best
have
MacGyver moment? I
no
don't know.
idea. Awesome. Well, that is okay. Well, you are definitely winning in this space, and I am so happy to finally had you on the
Thank
show.
you. I'm happy to be here.
Me
Finally.
too. I know. So tell everyone where to find you and how to connect with you and how to stay connected.
Okay, you can actually find me online. My website is my first and last name, Tomesia Ingram, TOMESIAINGRAM.com. Of course, I have to spell it because people can't pronounce it, so they certainly can't spell it. And I'm also the same on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Tomesia Ingram.
Nice. And I will make sure that I put all of the information on the show notes, in the show
Okay.
notes, and on the description in YouTube.
Okay.
Yes. So, well, thank you again for being a part of the Winning Brand podcast and bringing your sales funnels expertise to the show.
Thank you very much. Happy to
My
be here.
pleasure. So, everyone, As we wrap for the day, always remember a successful business does not require a business degree, it requires an innovative thought. Until next week, bye.
Bye bye.